welcome back to another episode of The Book Club. I'm still sitting amongst what will be our future tomato plants, and I don't know about you, but I'm ready to read a book. So this week we're going to read about Monarch Butterflies. We're going to keep talking about them a little bit, but more fun, less factual. And then we're going to make our own Monarch Butterflies after the book. So, let's sing our Welcome to Book Club song and get started. Here we go. These are my glasses, this is my book. I put on my glasses and open up my book. And I read, and I look. I take off my glasses and close up my book. Okay, everyone, I hope you enjoy the story, and I'll see you back in my kitchen for a project. Bye!
Mr. McGinty's Monarchs by Vander Heyden. On lazy afternoons, Mr. McGinty watched monarch butterflies dip and rise on the summer breeze. With his magnifying glass, he studied them sipping sweet nectar from the flowers. And when Mr. McGinty and Sophie, his dog, went for long walks, he marveled as the monarchs flitted and fluttered from milkweed to milkweed, laying eggs. "Milkweed's the only plant a monarch uses to lay its eggs," he told Sophie. "When the eggs hatch, the caterpillar feeds on the leaves. What do you think of that?" Sophie's tail thumped. Summer slipped by quickly, and one morning Mr. McGinty awoke with Sophie's warm breath on his face. "Oh, come on, girl, let's check on the monarchs." When they reached the stretch of the road where the milkweed grew thick, Mr. McGinty's shoulders drooped. His lips trembled. All the beautiful plants were on the ground. He examined the cut stems. The monarchs clung to the dry, dying milkweed. Hurrying home, Mr. McGinty loaded an old wagon with jars. Its rusted wheels squeaked. "Hurry, Sophie," he called. "We're going on a monarch mission." Mr. McGinty carefully picked up each monarch caterpillar. "Bet you didn't know these little wrigglers are also called larvae, huh, Soph?" Sophie sniffed at the caterpillar. Cars slowed and people shook their heads. Mr. McGinty didn't pay attention. With his gentle fingers, he just lifted each leaf and lowered each larva into a jar. "Time to go home, girl." He patted Sophie's head, and with a full wriggling wagon rode down the street. Mr. McGinty purchased an aquarium, lots and lots of aquariums, and he lined the bottom with sticks and milkweed leaves. He placed the caterpillars inside and covered the aquarium with a screen. Mr. McGinty slumped into his chair. "How will we ever take care of all these caterpillars, Sophie? They'll need fresh milkweed leaves every day. They'll need someone to watch them as they grow and someone to release them when they become butterflies." "Sophie, I've got an idea. I've got it." The next morning, Mr. McGinty and Sophie loaded their truck with caterpillars and drove to a nearby school. Mr. McGinty taught the children about the life cycle of a monarch, from egg to caterpillar to chrysalis to butterfly. "When these caterpillars become butterflies," he said, "they'll migrate." He left an aquarium of wriggling, wiggling, stretching monarch caterpillars with each classroom so the children could feed and care for them. At the end of the day, Mr. McGinty had one aquarium left. "Looks like this one's coming home with us, Sophie." And every day, Mr. McGinty fed the caterpillars fresh milkweed leaves. The monarch caterpillars grew and grew until they formed a chrysalis, and finally, When the monarchs had straightened their wings and were strong enough to fly, Mr. McGinty rolled out the old wagon one more time. "Ready, Soph?" Mr. McGinty laughed. "Woof, woof, woof." Sophie danced around his feet. They joined the children on the playground, and together they lifted the screen from the aquariums, and the monarchs spread their wings and went up, up, up. An early autumn breeze brushed against Mr. McGinty's cheek. He watched as monarchs fluttered feather-light across the field. "They have a long way to go," said Mr. McGinty, "but they'll be back." Sophie licked him on the nose. "And we'll be here when they come home, Sophie." The end. Okay, everyone, that was our story of the day. Now let's gather our supplies so we can get to that project. As seen in the picture, we will need a few things. Get your paintbrushes, your paint, specifically white, black, and orange. If you don't have orange, you can always mix red, yellow, and a little bit of white. You'll also want paper plates. You have the option to pre-cut them or leave it in its natural form. I'll show you in the rest of the video what to do if you don't cut it, and some popsicle sticks. If you don't have paper plates, regular paper's fine, and if you don't have popsicle sticks, you can always cut a piece of paper or a piece of cardboard, anything you have lying around the house. Now let's get started.
Hi everyone, I hope you enjoyed our story of the day. So now we're ready for our project. Make sure you have all your materials. Feel free to pause and then come on back so we can get started. Okay, let's go. So we are using paper plates today. Obviously you don't have to. You can use regular paper if that's what you want. But today we're getting a little crafty and this is what I'm using. Now you have two choices. You can start painting on a regular plate. You don't have to cut it first, but if you are going to cut it first, parents, this is what you're going to do. If your child feels confident cutting and you have child-safe scissors, let them give it a go. You can just draw the lines out and have them cut. But for the sake of those who aren't, this is what we're going to do. We're going to cut it down the middle. Put them together. And then you're literally going, you're gonna cut this side, the straight side. And you're just going to cut like a little squiggle in it. So our wings will connect like so. And then when you're done, you can put the popsicle stick in the middle. So you can wait until the plate is dry and do that afterwards, but this is a bit more instant gratification. And then you can tape or glue the popsicle stick in the middle. All right, for the sake of, I will paint both. So let's turn the camera down and now you can see what we're doing today. Here we go. So we're making our own Monarch butterfly. So if you remember from Smarty Pants videos and the story, the Monarch butterflies are black, white, and orange. So we have our black, white, and orange paint. If you don't have that and you want to make a butterfly with a bunch of different colors, go for it. Doesn't matter. So for this paper plate, I'm going to just go crazy and cover the whole thing. This one I'm not going to do with too much intention. Just cover the whole thing. I'm going to make the whole thing orange, and then I'll add some black and white on top of it. And if you remember, the Monarch butterfly are these colors, or is these colors, so that predators, animals that want to eat them, are scared. Because these colors in the animal world mean don't eat me, I am poisonous and dangerous. You'll see that with frogs, you'll see that in snakes, that these colors tend to mean stay away. So now I'm going to add my black and my white. So maybe I want to add some circles. Maybe I want to add squiggles, polka dots, or maybe I'm going to take my white now and add some white lines. There you go. Nice. And just add whatever design you want to your Monarch butterfly. So mine kind of ended up looking like almost like a crazy pumpkin face. Let's do one more together. So this one, these are how our wings will connect. So when you add your popsicle stick, or maybe just another piece of paper, maybe a little piece of cardboard that you've cut into a skinny rectangle, you could glue it or tape it right there so that it looks like the abdomen and the thorax of the butterfly. And then if you want, you can add antenna, optional. So this is our cut up paper plate. So for this one, I'm going to be a bit more intentional, and I'm going to make some stripes going along the edges of the wings, like that. There we go. I'm going to do that to the other side because butterflies are symmetrical. So I'm going to see if maybe I can make it look the same on both sides. Do my stripes. Now I'm going to add some black. Maybe I want to do some big black streaks everywhere. Just kind of color it in. Cover your whole butterfly. Are you guys making your butterflies to look like monarchs, or are you doing different colors? Maybe you're going back to what we talked about in our episode of Smarty Pants, and maybe you're making a butterfly with a startle effect so that it looks like a scary animal. Maybe you're camouflaging it so that it blends in with the trees and the leaves. Okay, there we go. I colored it in. Now I'm going to add some white. Take my white. Maybe I'll just do little dots. Boop. Boop. Boop, boop. What kind of patterns are you guys doing? Do stripes, polka dots. Kind of almost looks like a checkerboard in some parts. Maybe you want to do lines. Whatever you want. And those are my Monarch butterfly wings. So that was our project. When you're done, so maybe when your plate dries, it looks like this, and then you can cut it out. Or it can just be kind of an abstract monarch plate. Or if you did end up cutting it, and you did end up adding the popsicle stick, maybe it looks like this. And then you have your own monarch butterfly, and you can flap his wings. Maybe when it's done drying, you can paint the other side. So that way you have a double-sided butterfly. You can hang them from somewhere. So I hope you enjoyed our last butterfly project, and I'll see you guys next time on another episode of the book club. Bye.